What a month! I made one money decision in September that completely changed the game. For the first time ever, I was able to double my credit card payment. And I started investing more in this month than I had in the last 5 months combined. This month is all about the power shift. Let's get into all the numbers. If you're new here, my name is Rachel. I live in the Tampa Bay area and I rent this lovely, lovely apartment that I'm so grateful for. I have 2 beautiful, wonderful daughters, but I am an empty nester because they are grown and gone and doing their own thing. I have one daughter that's in the Army. She's about to hit her first year anniversary in the Army. And then I have another daughter that is a stay-at-home mom that made me a grandma for the first time ever. I am also a dog mom to a wonderful, beautiful little girl named Scout, who I love to feature on my page here. I'm a salary employee. I make $70,000 a year prior to taxes. I paid off my car in 2023. I do have 2 debts. I have credit card debt and I have about $2,500 left on my credit card debt. And then I have student loan debt and have about $90,000 on my student loans. I got my laptop here. Let's recap September's budget. After my 401k, taxes, and my Roth IRA, I brought home $3,839.95. And that is broken down between 2 paychecks. I have one paycheck where I was only putting 4% into my Roth IRA, and that is $1,930.48, and then I bumped it up to 5%. I think I said in my Roth IRA, I meant to say in my 401k, $1,909.47. And if you want to budget right along with me using the exact same spreadsheet that allowed me to cut my credit card debt down from $14,000 to $2,500, help me save my first $10,000 in my high yield savings account, and keeps me on track every single month with my budgeting, I will have it linked in the description of this video. Go check it out and let me know your thoughts. It is only $5. It is also a way for you to support me. If you want to give me any money, that's how you can give me money. You can buy my budgeting template on my Stan store. I will have it linked in the description of this video. Every month, I like to make this chart right here that's on this screen that shows how much of my net take-home pay went to each one of my expense categories. And up first, we have rent for $1,681.68, and that is 43.79% of my net take-home pay. Groceries, $458.82 for the month. That is 11.95%. If I can get that out. For gas is $144.50, and that is 3.76% of my net take home. And my energy bill, power bill, is $110.49. That is 2.88% of my net take home. Car insurance is $118.36, and that is 3.8% of my net take home. Shopping, that includes, I can't even remember what I bought. That's terrible. But I bought some stuff this month. $205.93. That is 5.36% of my net take home. Eating out is $92.04, and that is 2.4% of my net take home. Subscriptions, which includes Hulu, CapCut, Google Photos, Apple Storage, things like that, that is 57.54% of my net take home went to subscriptions, which equals out to 1.5%. Scout, which includes her food, her prescription pills, plus this month we had to renew her flea and tick medicine, so it's a little bit high this month. It is $278.60, which equals out to 7.26% of my net take home. My phone, which includes my phone bill for $25, and then my actual payment for my phone that I'm doing with the firm, which is 0%. That is $69.54 4%. That is $69.54. And that equals out to 1.8%. Credit cards, this doesn't include any of my credit card payments from my part-time job because I'm not like technically budgeting with any of my income from my part-time job. Like that's just going towards debt. So I'm not including that in the budget. So I'm not including it in this like chart right here. But for credit cards, we paid $587.64 from our regular paychecks, and that is 15.3% of my net take home. $6.50 went to parking, which is 0.17% of my net take home, and then SunPass, which is road tolls, and that is $16.42, which is 0.43% of my net take home went to my SunPass. So all in all, my total amount that I spent for September is $3,828.06. Now it's time to move on to the fun part of the budget. Y'all, I'm so excited. We have major updates. If you have only been watching these monthly recaps and you haven't seen anything else that I've put out, we have a major update for our credit card journey. We paid off one of our credit cards. Earlier this year, I decided that I was going to switch my credit cards from interest-bearing credit cards where I had a Discover card that had 24.29% interest, I believe. And then I also had a Truist card that had 10.42. I know it was 10% interest. And I had about $14,000 worth of credit card debt. I moved all of that over to two Citi credit cards. One is the Citi Simplicity credit card and the Citi Double Cash credit card. And I just worked really diligently. I made this entire amortization schedule to work really diligently about paying all my debt, my credit card debt, so that way I can pay them off and move on with my life. Because I feel like I've learned my lesson, and now I have my high yield savings account, and I feel like I have a better grasp on my finances than I ever have in my entire life, which is so sad because I'm 43 years old. But we paid off my Citi Simplicity credit card for $405 was the last payment that we made this month. So normally we were making payments at $508.37. But because this month I wanted to bring down my balance on my Citi Double Cash credit card as much as I could, which included making payments with my two paychecks that I have gotten from Target already. One of my paychecks was $275.28, and then my most recent Target paycheck, which includes a full 2 weeks. My first one is just the first week that I ever worked, which included my training. My most recent was $556.25. So on top of my normal $508.37 that I split between my two credit cards, one to pay off the other one, and then I think $103 or so went to the Citi Double Cash credit card, I was able to put $1,000 onto my Citi Double Cash credit card this month, and I actually put $1,014.17. So I included another $79.27 after I made my most recent credit card payment with my most recent Target paycheck. I was like, oh, if I put another $79.27 on here, I can bring the balance down from $3,514.17, is where we started at the beginning of September, to $2,500. And I do believe, and I do have a goal to pay this off next month. So stay tuned for that to see if we can make that happen, because that will be amazing. Then we can start working on our student loan debt, which is so high, and I'm literally so embarrassed that I just let myself just wither away all the years that I could have just been making great payments on my student loans. But I have to keep telling myself that everything happens for a reason, and I don't know what the reason is. And hopefully I've learned every hard lesson that I've needed to learn in my life. And at 43 years old, hopefully I'm done learning hard lessons. Honestly, I can't take another hard lesson. I might wither away. And in our high yield savings account, normally we were contributing all of our YouTube earnings, which equals out to about $100 every other month. I was also contributing $200 every time I got paid into my high yield savings account, which now I switched and I'm contributing that to my Roth IRA because I feel like I've hit, I haven't hit my $12,000 minimum goal in my high yield savings account, but also I have basically nothing in my retirement. So we are on the road to saving our first 100K. We are well far away from that goal, but that doesn't matter because we're going to do what we can, and we're going to buckle down for the next, honestly, until I die, we're going to be buckling down, which is fine. I don't mind. I want to make sure I'm hitting my goals now that I truly understand everything. So we started out the month of September where we weren't contributing any more from our regular paycheck. So we started out the month of September in our high yield savings account with $10,805.26, and we contributed our August earnings from YouTube, which was really August and July earnings, because like I said, I earned about basically $100 every other month from YouTube. I still love filming and I'm going to continue to do it. It's so much fun, and I want to be able to give hope and light to others that might be in my similar situation, which I know they're out there because they've commented on my videos and they're probably watching this video. And I want them to know that if I can do this, if I can buckle down and do this, then you can buckle down and do this. So that's why I continue to share. I don't expect to earn anything, and I don't earn much. It would be nice to earn a little bit more to help me out with all my goals. So my July and August earnings ended up being $150.34, which I put into my high yield savings account. I don't have anything set aside for taxes per se, but if I absolutely needed to dip into this high yield savings account to pay for some of my taxes, then I would, obviously. But I put $115.34. So after my interest, which I'm calculating to be about $41-ish, is going to be $10,961.74. So hopefully, I don't think I'm going to be able to put anything in October because I've already looked at my YouTube earnings for September and I only have about $60 in it. So I can't put anything in there unless something magical happens overnight, because usually it doesn't cut off until the morning after the 1st. So when I wake up on the 2nd, it's at zero again, because it just calculates whatever you earn for the last day of the month kind of thing. But I don't think I'm going to get another $40 overnight. I mean, knock on wood, maybe that will happen with this video if you guys want to watch it. But yeah, so I'm so excited. We'll be able to put some money in there in November. So we'll be at around $11,000 in November, which will be great because we're still working towards our goal. We're just going to be a little bit slower. One other item that I want to add to this spreadsheet is my Roth IRA. And I'm going to bring out my iPad for that because I don't have it on this spreadsheet yet. I meant to add it in, but I will be adding it in. I want to put in my 401k and my Roth IRA into this spreadsheet every month so that way I can see how that's tracking every single month, because I haven't been doing that. I have been contributing since February of this year to both. I started contributing 2% to my 401k, and then I realized that my job matches at 4.11%. So that's when recently we moved it up to 5%. And then I was contributing about $80 a month to my Roth IRA. I was doing $20 a week. And now I feel like my high yield savings account is at a place where I can contribute more to my Roth IRA. So now the money I was putting into my high yield savings account is going into my Roth IRA. The money from my big girl job that I'm putting towards my credit cards, once those are paid off, I do want to put into my Roth IRA. So we're going to be doing that as much as we can. I know that I need to get like an oil change, and I might need to fix a couple things on my car. So don't know how that's going to shake out in October, because I do believe October is going to be my oil change month. But my daughter recommended me a local mechanic instead of the like quick oil change place I was going to that was just on my way home from work. So my oil change should be cheaper than I've been getting. Also, I feel like if I need something done on my car, they're going to be honest about what I need, and they'll be fair on prices, because they are a family-owned auto mechanic shop that's been around for decades and have good reviews. So I think that's going to be my best bet. But in my Roth IRA, to close out September, I have $1,006.96, and that is split between these 5 ETFs. I have, where is it at? Sorry, I'm still trying to pull that up. I have 5 ETFs. I have BND, QQQ, SCHD, VNQ, VXUS. And the last 2 times that I put in the $200 into my Roth IRA, I've been splitting just $40 each. But I think we need to be a little more strategic about that. And I'm going to put like 5% into BND, because I don't want to get rid of it. I think it will be good long term, and maybe put it more in there like later on in life. But for now, I want to put more into QQQ and maybe SCHD, and then only like 5% into B&D. So we're gonna have to figure that all out. But my goal would be to max out my Roth IRA between whatever I'm gonna put in there the rest of the year from my regular paychecks. And I'm hoping to get a nice bonus this year. I don't really know. Last year, my annual bonus was, first of all, it was my first annual bonus at my big girl job. And at this like place, because I started here in November of 2023. So last year was my first bonus. But my boss was telling me that the year before it was much nicer, but we had a dip in profits in another department, and so they kind of wanted to be even across the board, I guess. Don't get me wrong, because I worked hard to get where I was by the end of last year, learning all of the things and all of that with the new job. So hopefully it's a little bit fatter, but I'm going to contribute more next year for this year. And then we'll contribute next year for next year. And hopefully between all that, we'll be able to max out $7,000 this year and $7,000 for next year. And then for my 401k, like I said, it was contributing 2%. Then I upped it to 4% for like my first paycheck of September. And then going forward, it is 5% of my net, or my take up, 5% of my gross going to my 401k. So right now in my 401k, I have $1,409.70. So all in all, in my retirement at my Fidelity account, or my Fidelity accounts, is $2,416.66. And I'm so excited. I love like opening this up and trying to see like how much it's grown over the like couple of days of, interest and whatever. I just love looking at this, and I want to dive deeper into this because, like I said, we are on the road to saving our first 100K. I don't have like a set plan for that because I really don't know, other than continuing to do what I'm doing by putting more into my Roth IRA. I would love to put more into my 401k. Potentially, if I can get my student loan balance down a significant amount, then we can start putting more into there or something. That's the power of one change. And if you want to see if I can keep this momentum going and pay all my credit cards off in October, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on any of my updates. I must ask you, let me know in the comments, are you team side hustle or team cut expenses? Alrighty, I love y'all, and I will see you later. Mwah! Bye!